Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I thought I'd do a roundup of all the items that I purchased in the last couple of months. I don't have too many items because I was busy moving and I'm also mentally and financially preparing myself for a trip to Asia in a couple of weeks where I know I will be doing a lot of shopping. But nevertheless, I love fashion, I love shopping, and I have accumulated a good number of things that I absolutely love, and I'm so excited to share with you. The first thing I want to talk about is this top from Banana Republic Factory. Now, if I haven't made this clear, Banana Republic Factory is my all-time favorite place to buy my basics. And that's for a couple of reasons. First of all, the quality is amazing if you know what you're looking for, and the price is incredible because they are often doing a discount on top of already discounted items. So this top, if I recall, I don't think it was more than $25, and I think it's beautiful and the quality is fantastic. Now, when I typically order from Banana Republic Factory, I make a huge order, but I only end up keeping a couple of those items. And this time, those items tended to be a really thick cotton modal fabric that allows me to go braless, which is a huge plus for me, especially with a top like this, where I don't want to fuss with like a strapless bra. And the trick I found was that it has to be a blend of cotton, modal, and elastane for it to have this thick material that feels really substantial and can allow you to go braless. I probably would have bought this top in all the colors that it came in if it wasn't for me trying to restrain myself, along with this other cow neck top, which has a beautiful drape in the front if you wear it with the strap up, but you can also wear it off shoulder or completely pull down like this one. That top is so versatile and is also double lined and thick, much like this one. So once again, you don't have to wear a bra. For the price point and the quality and the design, I cannot stress how good these tops are, and I cannot recommend Banana Republic Factory more for these items. I will continue to shop there and do my seasonal hauls with them. So if you're interested, always stay tuned. The other purchase I made was from a brand that I've never shopped at before called Damson Madder. I feel like this brand is having a moment right now. They have really whimsical, scandy styles that when somebody wears, it's kind of obvious that it's from Damson Madder. Now, I can't say that it's necessarily my style, but I have a deep appreciation for a brand that has a very distinct style and does it well. And I heard from friends that their quality is fantastic. It looked great on them in person. So I've always just been keeping an eye out on their stuff. And while, their beautiful dresses and their accent tops have always been tempting, I never really pulled the trigger because, once again, that's just not my style until I came across these jeans. I immediately fell in love with these jeans because of the cuffed bottom and also the wash, as well as the accent in the back pocket. So I made the purchase, and I have to say they are pretty good. First of all, they fit incredible right out of the box. I bought them in size 25, which is usually my size. And I could just tell that they were going to be comfortable jeans. They had a little bit of a stretch. They weren't so stiff, but stiff enough that they didn't feel like they were going to lose shape with wear. I will say that these are quite tight at the hip and loose at the waist. And that's something that I personally don't experience that much because I don't really have huge hips or a butt. So if you're curvier than I am, that's something that you should take note of and maybe size up. But then you will also have that waist gap that I know a lot of women deal with. So that's just something to keep in mind about this pair. Otherwise, I think it's incredible. There's a cut about it that's very different from what I typically go for that are just like standard loose baggy jeans. I really like that it hugs me at the hip while it flares out into a truly baggy denim. This has become one of my top favorite jeans in my collection, which says a lot because if you don't know already, I am very loyal to Levi's. So I'm impressed and I will be continuing to keep an eye on this brand. I was in Denmark last week and I did buy one fashion item while I was there. I wasn't hugely inspired by the things that I was seeing currently, but I did manage to pick out this scarf. I saw it on a mannequin and I knew I had to have it immediately. Scarves are having a moment and I love tying them around my waist. And what I really liked about this one in particular was that it was sheer and so detailed, and it contrasted so well with dark bottoms, which I tend to wear a lot these days. I think it's stunning, and I can see also this layering really well with chunky sweater because that contrast with chunky knits and something really delicate and lacy like this, I think that will translate really well in an outfit. In the winter, I definitely wear baggy clothes all the time. And I think this will inject a touch of femininity to my outfit that I was missing. So I'm really excited about this one. All right, moving on to shoes. The first pair I want to talk about are these Merrell shoes. Now, if you don't know already, these shoes, when they first came out a couple months ago, went viral and sold out immediately. The versions that really sold out quickly were actually the dark brown ones, which honestly is the one that I probably would have preferred. But Merrell re-released these in the color black and cherry red. The cherry red was beautiful, but I knew that I wouldn't be able to style it all the time. So I pulled the trigger on the black pair. And to be fair, black is what I wear the most. And I do think that this pattern, which can read a little bit grandpa, translates better in black than brown because brown can look old depending on how you style it. I have to say, like true Merrell shoes, they're incredibly comfortable. I took them in size 6.5 US, which is my normal size, but they're actually European 38, which is not true typically. It should be European 37. So what that means is that I do have a lot of wiggle room in the front, but I don't mind that. If I had the option to try on a size smaller and compare, I would have, but these sold out immediately. And I'm honestly happy to keep them for two reasons. One, I think with slides, it's always best to have a little bit of room in the heel. Otherwise, as you flip-flop, if you're constantly hitting the back of the slide, it can be incredibly annoying. And the other thing is that this opening here is treated with leather that's a lot stiffer than this material. And I have high instep. So it actually feels quite snug up here. It's just a little bit roomy in the toes. So if you have, so that's just something to consider if you're interested and you want to sign up for like waist up notifications. I haven't actually worn them outside the house, but I know that they're going to be so comfortable, and these are going to be my go-to pairs along with the Keens that I wear all the time. I find slides like the best type of shoes for just, running errands, going out and about, yet they are so comfortable that you could wear them on like a light hike or even when you're traveling. These are probably also going to be my airport shoes for when I go to Asia, because you want something that's really easy to slip in and out of when you're on the plane, when you're going through security. I think they look stunning. And of course, I did the test with my Levi's 501 90s and they passed. So I'm so happy that I finally got them. And I will be keeping an eye out for a brown pair release. I also got the Salomons. Now, immediately, are they not the most precious thing? They're in this beautiful muted pink with black accent, with ruffles at the top and a bow that peeks out when you're wearing baggy jeans. It is the most feminine and masculine shoe I've ever seen, and it was an immediate love at first sight. So how I got to purchasing these, my go-to walking sneakers that were my New Balances for the longest time, they just gave out. They were tired, they were old. I'd had them for like 5+ years, and it was time to replace them. And I've been curious about Salomons because They're so popular right now. My husband has a pair and he raves about how comfortable they are. And I was just really looking for comfortable walking shoes. I knew that rebalances would be safe because I know them, I like them. But the trouble with a lot of New Balance shoes is that they are so chunky that they don't always look great with the Levi's 50190s. So if I were to go for like a long walk, I always found myself switching out of my favorite pair of jeans, which didn't feel right. So I was on the lookout for a good walking sneakers that were a little bit slimmer. And lo and behold, the Salomons are it. When I put these on, the arch support that I got immediately was a shock. They were way more comfortable than New Balances. Mind you, I have not worn these out yet, so I haven't done any long walks in them yet. But it was so comfortable right off the bat that I was honestly shocked, and it kind of validated all the hype about Salomon's being comfortable shoes. Once again, I bought US 6.5, and it translates to European 38, which I don't know why all of a sudden these brands are switching how conversions are working. So these shoes are actually a little big on me. So I did order another pair. I'm just going to have to size them to a US 6. And the reason why I care about this fitting better than my Merrells is because when you're walking a lot and your heel rubs up and down like this, that brings your socks down. And I think we all hate that feeling. I really care about like my comfortable walking shoes being really snug and well fitted to my feet. And I could just tell that these were going to bother me eventually. So yeah, I recommend sizing down. If you buy them from Nordstrom, in the size guide, they actually do recommend sizing down. I wish I had seen that before I purchased these because I'd purchased these from Revolve and they didn't have that advice on the website at the time. I love that I don't have to deal with laces. Like I said, this bow is everything. I feel like it's so girly and this shoe looks so athletic, which is also not me. But somehow combined, they beautifully make this combo that works for me. I'm worried a little bit about buying a pink pair of shoes because what if they don't go with that many outfits? I really want these to be my go-to walking shoes, but I think the color is sophisticated and muted enough that it actually is a really nice accent to any color that I wear, which tends to be usually like denim or black or cream or even green, honestly. I turned down the brightness a little bit so maybe you can see better the actual color of these, but hopefully in the cutaway you can see them as well. Like I said, they're quite dusty, and I think that translates to almost neutral, dare I say. All right, I hope you enjoyed watching this video and found it useful. If you have any questions about the products that I mentioned, please let me know in the comments. Otherwise, I'll see you next time. Bye.